Welcome to Olsem Wanem. In this episode, we feature a family of writers in Papua New Guinea. But before that, you may have questions like, what is a writer? What is an author? Is writing and reading important? Let me ask you, do you write? Do you type? Do you think writing is still the same today as it was hundreds of years ago? Writing can be achieved in any language, English and Tok Pisin included. I wrote this to read to you. Writing is sharing and learning. Writing is the way that you use written words to express your ideas or opinions in the forms of books, poems, essays, and letters, for example. Writing is a skill that helps people express and communicate their ideas and stories with other people. So writing is simply thinking through your fingers, whether it be by pen, pencil, or on a keyboard. Have a look at this video shared by people who love writing.
But a pen is a simple thing, isn't it? It doesn't have a battery or a motherboard. It doesn't require a service plan or a satellite orbiting the Earth in order to function. It's never smarter than you are, which I like. And if you were to drop it in water or any distance higher than your own knee on a hard surface, it would not be destroyed. In fact, purchasing an insurance plan for it would be, well, silly and slightly ridiculous. Yet, this simple pen has shaped the very world in which we live. It has recorded the discoveries of scientists and inventors. It has charted the course for nearly every explorer who has braved the open ocean or explored the vast terrain. Wars have begun and ended at its wave. And the doctrine of nearly every one of the world's religion was inscribed at its tip. It has recorded the genius of composers and artists alike. And more lovers have succumbed at its tip than any of Cupid's arrows. You see, more than a pen, this is a vital part of our humanity. It is the facilitator to genius, the strongest weapon in wartime, the baton passed from one generation to the next, the needle on the Richter scale of our hearts, and the connection between God and man. Yet, for the first time in history, the value of this amazing tool hangs in the balance. With 41 out of 50 states no longer requiring handwriting to be a fundamental part of their curriculum, like everything else in our culture, we declare its value by what we teach or do not teach our children. Yet I stand before you today not only as an advocate for the pen, but as your advocate as well. For while the hand empowers the pen empowers the man. So empower yourselves today and write this down. Use this, and you will develop not one, but 3 forms of literacy. The first form of literacy is that of historical literacy. You see, we have a vast chronology of handwriting because man has been writing by hand for literally thousands of years. And every culture, every time period, every nation has had its own form of handwriting, and they are each as unique as one individual's is to another's.
Writing, it helps us perform all sorts of activities every day.
It's easy to assume that writing's always been around, but like most things, it had to be invented.
Have you ever written something down so you can remember it later on? Maybe you hear a good song on the radio and you decide to write it down on a piece of paper. Or perhaps you're going shopping and you decide to write a shopping list. Well, in a sort of similar way, this is why people started to write thousands of years ago.
Another type of script in use across the world today is Arabic, like this example we have here. Now, Arabic is the language of the Islamic holy book, the Quran, and unlike what you might be used to, Arabic reads from right to left. One thing about Arabic is that it can be very beautiful, and artists have used it for hundreds of years to make paintings, to cover objects in woods, and to decorate buildings. Like these tiles from Iran, used in mosques, palaces and shrines. Did you know the oldest type of writing still in use today is Chinese? It's thousands of years old. Because we can understand written messages from the past, we can often read about things that were never intended to be seen by others. Like these Roman tablets found in the north of England. Some of them are just personal notes, like an invite to a birthday party, or announcing the delivery of some socks and pants. The amazing thing about writing is it's allowed humans to do something quite special, and that is to record different ideas, events, messages and emotions without having somebody to be physically there to communicate them. And like the messages we can read from the past, perhaps what you write today could also be read in hundreds or thousands of years' time in the future.
Here in the studio we have special guests, and they are the very first Papua New Guinean family of authors, the Yarekis. Welcome to the program, and it is a pleasure having you all here with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Really
Florence, and thank you, EMTV.
Be here with you.
Okay, so we are here to have a discussion on your books that you will be launching come the 23rd of this month. So first and foremost, how did all of this, the whole family being authors, how did this come about? Can Mr. Yareki, can you please brief us on that?
That's a very interesting question. I come from a family where my father is from the Eagle clan. They oversee many things. My mother comes from the Pigeon clan, where they have to share their knowledge. And this kind of upbringing was instilled in my blood. And when I had my own family, I decided that I should ask my family members. And they seem to like it, sharing knowledge. So we are sharing knowledge in the form of books.
So this is how everything started, from your the background which you come from.
Yes, from Milne. I come from matrilineal society, and that's how I was brought up, to share information and knowledge.
So why do you think it is very vital to have a positive writing habit?
I can only speak from my experience and what I love. I love writing, and that's what I do every day. I eat, sleep, walk, think, talk, writing. And my children, Eddie and Helen, and my wife Morive, sort of do that every day. We walk and talk and think. And when you talk about healthy writing habit, I think to us you are talking about what is it in our gifting, what is it that we love to do that we must uphold. And we love to uphold writing our books.
I'll ask Eddie now to tell us why do you think, like you're 12 years old, right? So why do you think it is important to write?
To feel very confident in the eyes of my parents, and to help other children who really want to be like me as a writer. Okay. So I feel that writing is a part of me, and I'm part of it.
I'll also ask Helen, from your own point of view, how do you feel when you write your book or the poems that are in your book?
The freedom to confidently express what I think my life should be. And I think that is very important for me and other people who read my book, because then they will know what confidence is and freedom is in their homes and around other people.
Okay. Mrs. Yareki, your point of view about writing.
Writing, many people do it. Many do it in their heads. Many, they talk, so it comes out in the voice with words, and only few, they try to put it down on paper. And I think that for me to be happy with my writing is to put it down on paper. And I see it and I say, that's me, you know, that's powerful.
Why do you think it is important for children to write their own books? I'll ask Mr. Yareki.
I used to be a grade 1 teacher, and I grew up as a child freely. In my society, I could just tell stories and joke, and you know, that's the kind of society I come from. And I also speak 5 other languages, and I love languages of Papua New Guinea. But at the early age, like my upbringing and my children's upbringing in my house, my law is to let the children teach me and let the children guide me in my new way of going, because I feel that me and my friends who are adults, we might have missed the course and we might be spoiling the society, but children can come up and teach us with their new information, with their new discoveries on how we should solve new problems.
What motivates you to write?
Well, for me, I went to my father's village and his place, and we went to Trobran Islands and we went deep sea fishing, which is out in the open sea, and I caught the red emperor fish, and because of that I achieved. It was what I wanted to catch that time. So I caught the fish and I wrote about it in my book, Emperor of the Islands.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
In it, there are messages which help children to understand how and why they're treated in the way they are being treated, and know how to see things and work out things that help other people and help themselves. So that's what my book does.
In your book, there are messages in there for kids. So what type of messages?
Messages that make the children say, I have the right to be treated this way, and I need attention in order to help me become what I want from the mother and father.
That is interesting, Eddie. Yeah.
You're currently helping your family in helping small children to be writers of their own books. So how is that going so far for you?
I'm actually working with my mother, my father, my sister to help other children make their own books.
So how many other kids are you helping now to write their own books?
About, I just forgot the number.
I'm going to ask you, Mr. Yareki, now. Could you brief us on how many books you have lined up to be launched come the 23rd of this month?
I'd like to touch that one first, please, if you don't mind. Eddie, can I have that one there? Yeah. We have 9 books, but we want to think we have a pack for the house. We are going to launch a 9-pack to fathers, mothers' homes. This is a 9-pack that begins from Emperor of the Islands and finishes with the gift of tears For elementary children to study how professors think, we have it there already. For professors or adults to think how elementary children think, we have it inside here. We have a whole pack of book here. There is everything inside here for a mother or a father to teach their children. They begin teachers now, and those who are involved with us will have the opportunity to learn how to use these books at home to become expert educationists. So these are the 9 books. But I will leave the specifics of every book to the authors. They know best about each book.
Mr. Yarekis, can you brief us on some of the programs that you have in place now to help children especially to write their own books?
At the moment, it's a new concept, and we are working with children and the mothers and fathers. And we are building the concept, and it's growing like fire. The ideas and the strategies of teaching is all new to us, but we are using these books, these 9 books, to channel us to go through, because we are looking at 30 years of work here in front of us here, and all of this is helping us to help the children. One of the strategies we use is we go door to door. Based on an invitation, hi Mr. Yarekis, hi Miss Yarekis, we would like you to come to our house and let's talk about what you are doing. So this is what we do. And that's one of the strategies. There are other strategies we use where we come every month and they bring their manuscripts and we expand them and we grow their words and their sentences and their paragraphs and their ideas and the original things they want to give to us.
Could you tell us a little bit about your first book that you've written?
Oh, you mean The Gift of Tears?
Yes.
Yes. This, I think this is it began 30 years ago. And this is year 30. And as it was finishing, my family members came along and helped me to finish it. Because their ideas and what the book should be like and all that, I believe that is important, because I wanted this book to be used in the house, in the family home. We wanted it to be part of the library in the house. So this book is The Gift of Tears, and I do not really want to tell you what's inside it. I'd like the viewers watching here, they should have the opportunity to get it. This is one of the fewer books, and I want to tell you that all in our books, we have written them in such a way that no other books have been written. The formats have changed, the style of book writing has changed, the style of story writing is changed, but they're basically the same frame, the 9 books, that they're outstanding in a sense that they're different and unique. So The Gift of Tears is no different to the 3 of them. However, it is written from a 14-year-old boy's eyes.
Mrs. Yarekis, can you please tell us a little bit about your book, The Leopard Stingray of Mearu?
Okay, Leopard Stingray of Mearu is about my place. Mearu is in Gulf Province. That's where I come from. And it's a story about one of our holiday trips. But I wrote it because the story covers my people and the place itself, what it looks like, and the language, which is popular in Gulf Province.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that book of yours has been translated into different languages.
This book was written again in for elementary children from ages 6 to 9. And it's this one here. It's a junior reader for ages 6 to 9, and it's been translated into 4 different languages. That's Tokpisin, Tuaripi, my language, Dobu, Milne Bay Province, and also in Engan language.
Who helped you to translate the books?
There were many people involved from the rural areas, and also expert linguists who helped us to get the book translated. And especially my husband, who was guiding to have the books translated into those languages. And we can do that for any other language in Papua New Guinea.
So now we'll move on to Helen. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Envy Our Times is a book of original poems that is inspired by a dog that is named Envy, short for environment. And in it are messages on how I solve some problems through nature, through school, through animals. So yeah, my poems talk about that.
Papua New Guinea has well-known authors like Dr. Stephen Winduo, Sepolius Matane, Vincent Airy, Noravagi Brash, just to name a few, are living testaments that writing about everything and anything is the lead to becoming an author yourself. Papua New Guinea has a history of writers, many of which have hailed from the University of Papua New Guinea. We'll feature that in another episode this year. But for now, to be an author, age, size, race, and gender don't count. One is never too old or too young to be an author. If one has the determination to become an author, by all means, start writing. Here is a piece of advice from a novelist whose name is Walter Mosley.
I love writing, and like you said, I write every day, and I just love doing it. It's just a wonderful thing. Some of my stories work, some of them don't work, some of them are wild, and I love them, but they certainly don't fit into any kind of normal system that I know about. Some of them are fit perfectly into like a structure that somebody want to publish and deal with. It doesn't matter to me because I'm writing. I'm using language. I'm using that language to tell stories, and even more so to get ideas across. And I love that, and I've always loved it. And the fact, but I tell people come to me and they'll say, so when you start writing, you were trying to become a successful writer. And I said, no, when I became a writer, I started studying writing. What I wanted to do was write a short story that worked. And I never really thought I'd be successful. I never thought I'd get books published. I mean, this was something completely beyond me. The fact that it's happened is wonderful, but it's not something that I was aiming for. I have never thought that I've sacrificed anything being a writer. That might not be true. Maybe I have sacrificed something. Maybe I've given something up, but I can't think of it. One of the things I love about being a writer is this. I wake up every day and I write for 3 hours. I wake up early. So 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I write till 9 or 10. I live in New York. Nobody's even breathing until 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And so it's like my writing life is completely removed from the rest of my life. So then, I can start, calling people, going out, having lunches, doing things, living a life, and I've already done all my writing. I don't have to think about it again until tomorrow morning at 6 or 7. So it feels like writing is almost a place of dreams for me, and I don't have to give up anything in order to do it.
And that's all we have time for on Olsem Wanem. And if you have any stories or comments you would like to share, please contact us via the address now showing on your screen or visit our Facebook page. For now, enjoy the rest of your viewing on your #1 station, EMTV.